Heyo, looking for that chicken mayo. Let's get into it. So first I want to set some ground rules. Some ground rules for Naruto and the Warframe universe. Naruto characters, they're not gonna have any temporary forms that they had. So Naruto won't have the Sage of Six Paths form, and Madara and Obito won't be the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. We're gonna give them forms, just maybe Obito will have the fourth Great Ninja War arc form of him, so he'll have the Rinnegan, just not the Ten Tails. And Madara is gonna be Madara. He's not gonna have, undead, not dying abilities, and he's also not gonna be the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. That said, these are still very strong characters. Same with, Kakashi, he's gonna have his Sharingan. I'm gonna give him his Sharingan. As for Warframe characters are going to essentially be Warframes without their Tenno. We're gonna count out the Tenno, it's just gonna be Warframes versus Naruto characters. As for what Warframes can do, they can have their mods, they can have weapons. I'm going to try and give them weapons that will make sense for them to have as much as I can, and then we're going to compare them. So let's cut the chase and get right into it. So let's start off with Naruto versus Excalibur Umbra. This is going to be the tournament, okay? This is a tournament, all of them. Okay, let me just put one more ruling here. The way the tournament itself works is you can see two at a time are going to fight, and then at the end of that, they're going to have this fighting again. But if two characters from the same arc, same universe, win, and they move on to the next bracket, we're just going to decide who is the strongest, and then that person will go on to the next bracket. You may notice this three-way, at the end, and that's going to be an advantage for whoever has the most members, So if two Naruto characters make it versus one Warframe, then there'll be a 2v1. Simple as that. Okay, let's get into it. So Naruto versus Excalibur Umbra. Naruto is a very strong character, and probably one of the strongest characters in here, maybe besides from Madara, but let's get into it. So Naruto can move really quick with the chakra cloak. Yeah, he also has this giant form with the nine tails. He can use Bijudamas, he can use a Rasengan and Rasen Shuriken. He can make thousands of clones of himself, although those clones are much weaker than he is. They can pretty much die through any damage at all, and he can do some crazy shit with those clones, like the giant Rasengan barrage, which is crazy. Now, he can't fight infinitely, he has a limited chakra, though he has an extremely high amount of chakra that isn't infinite. He has he has stamina, he can't last forever. That said, he is extremely powerful. I would put him at city level. He can easily flatten a city with a Bijudama. We've seen what Bijudamas can do. They're essentially nuclear bombs. And that's what I would give Naruto. Now let's look at Excalibur Umbra. Excalibur Umbra has mods. Mods changes this, and as for weapons, I'm going to give him his signature katana and the Paris Prime, given that we see him use it in the Beast Within questline. We see that he has this available to him, even though he hoards it and doesn't let you use it. Apparently he has a Paris Prime. So you may be wondering, what the hell is a bow and arrow? A Paris Prime is a bow. What is it going to do against, Naruto? Well, we see in Warframe as this shoots down airships easily, so this isn't just a bow and arrow, it's an extremely powerful bow. And as for his katana, it's also an extremely powerful sword. We see it fight sentience, we see it fight Grineer, and we know the enemies from Warframe are very strong. The average Grenadier soldier is essentially carrying around a car with his armor. His armor weighs a car, and you can easily see how Warframes cut them down like they're nothing. Now let's go into how this would play out. I think Naruto really is faster than Excalibur Umbra. In terms of strength, I really don't think there's that much of a difference. We see Excalibur Prime lifting the Han Hullus's leg, and if you don't know what the Han Hullus is, it's essentially just a giant robot man. That's also extremely powerful. It isn't just big, it's really strong. We see that's Adis's power. That's probably one of the strongest sentience we see in the game, the Han Hullus. And Excalibur Prime could, he can lift it. He can't fight back. He can't like throw it in the air, but he can lift it. He can withstand it. And we see Naruto, in the pain fight, he literally just picks up a giant rhino and chucks it into orbit. So I think their strength is gonna be roughly equal. As in terms of speed, I think Naruto is gonna blitz Excalibur Umbra. Their speed is very different. Now when it comes to durability, this is the problem. So Excalibur is a Warframe. All Warframes have a shield. Whenever that shield gets depleted, they enter what is known as a shield gating state. In that state, they are completely immune to damage, which is very strong. So essentially, Naruto can't one-shot Excalibur Umbra, no matter what he does. Even a Bijudama would be extremely powerful, probably remove his shield completely, but it won't kill him. Can't kill him. Now, this is essentially going to be what's going to happen. In a fight, Naruto is going to outscale him in terms of speed. He's going to blitz him a bit, but he's going to struggle to actually hurt him. Warframes are a lot more durable than Naruto characters, tend to be. Now, if this turns into a fight of endurance, I think Excalibur's going to win because Warframes have infinite stamina. They can just keep on fighting forever. Naruto can't, but that said, I do think Naruto's going to win this fight. He's going to blitz Excalibur Umbra. Over time, I don't think Excalibur Umbra is going to be able to withstand the power. Excalibur Umbra's powers himself, I can get into it. He has a blinding attack that can blind everything around him. He has a dash that makes his speed better, but I don't think it's going to be able to match, Naruto's. I think it might come close, but that's an ability. He has to activate it to essentially teleport. It's not really a teleport. He just moves really quickly to that enemy and it performs an attack. But he can't really compare to Naruto, who can just casually blitz everything. So, otherwise, Excalibur also has his javelins. He stabs the ground and javelins shoot out. It's not going to be much of a problem for Naruto, but it is an attack that he can do. Otherwise, here's Excalibur Umbra's big selling points. He has his Exalted Blade, which, if you go look at what it can do, supposedly can pass through all material. So that is damage. He can just infinite punch through. He can just shoot through everything with that. So his sword can shoot these waves out that just pass through everything. And Naruto is gonna struggle to deal with that because if he gets hit, he will die. That is going to one-shot him. That said, he does have the giant, the giant nine-tail form. He's extremely fast. I don't think Naruto loses to Excalibur Umbra. Kakashi versus Volt. That's our next match. Let's look at their strengths. So Kakashi is very fast. His signature thing is that he was able to cut lightning. Now that's going to be very cool because he's going to have to do that a lot. Other things he can do, he's the copy ninja. He knows a lot of ninjutsu, from water style to earth style to fire style. We don't really see him use a lot of wind style, but we know he can. We just don't really see him do it. He can use like 1,000 ninjutsu. Although it's not going to matter because he's going to use his signature things, the Chidori, the different variants of Chidori that he has, and his Sharingan. He has this really cool ability that if someone is standing still, he can just whoop them out of existence and put them into the Shadow Realm. That said, that's not going to really help him very much against Volt, who is extremely quick. If we look at his abilities, Volt can move so quickly that time dilation happens around him. So I would say he's probably faster than Kakashi. Kakashi is really quick, but we haven't seen him perform something like that. Other than that, Kakashi, he can summon dogs, he can make a brick wall. Although, I'm gonna be real here, I don't see him standing much of a chance. Like, Naruto, we saw him do well, but obviously, he got the Nine Tails behind him. Kakashi is fighting a Warframe that he's not gonna compare to when it comes to speed. And without that, durability, he's not going to be a match. Let's look at what Volt can do. Okay, so Volt can shoot a lightning bolt out very quickly that does chain reaction. I don't think that's going to be a big problem for Kakashi. Otherwise, he can boost his own speed. That's what's going to make it extremely difficult for Kakashi to keep up with him. Otherwise, he can make this lightning shield around him, or not around him, it's like this barrier in front of him that can block pretty much every projectile. So it's going to be very difficult for Kakashi to really hurt him, and even if he can get through that shield, it's not going to really help because, Warframes have mods, they have shield gating. I am going to put this out there. There is a shield gating tactic you can use in Warframe that just makes it so you can't take damage. I'm not going to count that, like, all these guys aren't doing the shield gating tactic, so that whenever you die, you just have shield gating, but then you use mods to make that last long enough for you to just restart generating your shield again, so that you will never be able to die. That they're not doing that. That's kind of bullshit. I think it's reading too much into the Warframe, mod system that they can do that. Mods are canon, however, it's just kind of ridiculous to think the way you've broken the game that you can do in the lore. No, I don't think that's canon. That said, shield gating is a thing, just not to that insane degree. I think Kakashi loses. Volt's ultimate, he can just shoot out a big lightning blast around him. The main reason why Kakashi loses isn't because he's abilitied. It's because he can't really compare. Speed-wise, he gets blitzed. Strength-wise, he gets blitzed. Volt would be comparable to Excalibur Prime lifting the Hanhalas. Probably not equal, but just slightly off, given that he's a more speedster than a strength frame. So he's going to blitz Kakashi. I just don't see anything Kakashi can really do to stop Volt. Volt is stronger, faster, more durable. When it comes to abilities, he's kind of lacking in comparison to Kakashi, but that's not going to make a difference. He can just beat the shit out of him. When it comes to Volt's weapons, Volt doesn't have any signature weapons. So I'm just gonna give him a Skana Prime, and maybe any one of the Assault Rifle Primes, a Burston Prime. Yeah, there's a Burston Prime and a Skana Prime. And honestly, those weapons would be considered ninjutsu in Naruto, because every weapon can be modded, so you can imagine him using whatever elements he wants to use there. But yeah, no, I just don't see Kakashi winning this fight. He's not going to be able to compare to Volt. Tsunade versus Trinity. So Trinity and Tsunade, this is going to be a bit of a different type of fight. So Trinity is still a Warframe, still has all the Warframe feats, it's probably weaker than Excalibur Prime, so it's not going to be able to... Who knows, maybe the Hanhalas would just crush Trinity. I don't see her being as strong. She is a support frame. And let's go over their abilities. So Tsunade has that weird diamond thing on her forehead, and if she can activate it, then she can essentially be immortal. She just doesn't die. She can regenerate from a lot of injury. It's hard. Maybe if like her head gets crushed in, she will die. Who knows? But we've seen her regenerate, her arm being cut off. We've seen her regenerate from a lot of damage. More than that, she is just incredibly durable. She is very strong. And as for her physical feats, we've seen her crack the, Madara Sasuna armor, which is not a small feat. That is pretty big. She's also she has a lot of battle IQ. She's very old. She knows how to fight. She's actually weird as she doesn't have all that many abilities. Like, she can summon a giant slug that can shoot acid out, which is cool. But other than that, she's just very strong, very durable. Has all the other ninja feats, she can jump really high, all that. But that's not very important. She's just very strong and very durable. Now, when we go to Trinity isn't that impressive. Really, from a Warframe standpoint, she's still a Warframe. She still has mods, she has all these things. And as for weapons, I'm going to give her two scythes. I forgot exactly what they're called, just two scythes. And for weapons, for a ranged weapon, I don't think she has like a signature ranged weapon, so I'm just gonna give her a secondary, like a Lex Prime or something like that. I think that will do. If I'm being fully honest here, I think Tsunade got this. Trinity, she can heal people, she has Spell Vamp, she can kind of drain life, but her abilities mainly just support her team and heal shit. It's not like she's gonna stun lock Tsunade. Like, there's not much she can really do. In a fight, I think she'll do well. It will be an interesting fight, but I think Tsunade is gonna walk out victorious here. She's going to kick Trinity's ass. As much as Trinity is gonna pull up a good fight, she will force Tsunade to her like strongest. Tsunade will have to use her weird diamond forehead thing. That said, I just don't see Trinity winning this. Like, it's going to be a long fight, and eventually Tsunade is going to punch Trinity into the ground. Tsunade could easily lift the Hanhalas. She could probably do the same thing that Excalibur Umbra could, Excalibur Prime, I mean, and probably more. She's very strong, very physically strong. She can probably beat the shit out of Trinity. Trinity has some things, she can heal, but not to the same degree. I think Tsunade's healing is actually better than Trinity's. And even if it isn't, I just don't see her winning this fight. Tsunade's gonna beat the ever-living shit out of Trinity. The shield gating is gonna come and go, and then Tsunade is gonna keep, just pounding her fist into Trinity. It's not gonna be much of a fight. Yeah, I say that it's probably going to last some time. It's going to be a long fight due to the durability of both of these characters. But Tsunade, I think she's going to come out on top. She's just more physically strong. I don't think there's any real speed difference here. Like, they're both very fast because of what they are. Tsunade is a Hokage. She's very... she's expected to be strong, and she can summon the giant slug. I think that's going to be the main turning point here. Otherwise, two healers just bashing each other in the face is going to last a decent amount of time. The only difference is Tsunade has more than just that. She can also summon the giant slug, and I think she's just physically stronger than Trinity. Yeah. Obito versus Limbo. So this is going to be a very complicated fight. So Obito, let me quickly get into it. His abilities. He is an Uchiha. He has the eye. He has the fucked up eye. So, and he also has a Rinnegan in this fight. Though in the series we don't see him do much with the Rinnegan apart from Ten-Tail stuff, and that's not in this show, not in this tournament, but we will go over what we've seen him do. So he has this really awesome ability that he can just decide you're not touching me. He has a no touchy rule ability. So with that, he can effectively dodge pretty much any attack. And before you think that just means, okay, Obito wins because he has all the ninja shit he can do, plus he can just decide to not get hit. Limbo can do something similar, but I'll get into that. Obito, we've seen him use Fire Style, we've seen him use a few jutsus. He isn't really, we don't see him do too much. He is physically strong, and speed is kind of a joke to him because he can just teleport wherever he wants to go. So he is a pretty strong character. We've seen him do a lot. With his Sharingan, he can also do Sharingan things, such as putting people into hypnosis. I'm not too sure how well that will work against, a Warframe that is kind of already dead. The idea is maybe you can put the Tenno controlling them under hypnosis, but we're not counting Tenno in this, so in this is just a Warframe that is alive, that is conscious. I'm not too sure what the Sharingan can do against that, but we're gonna presume that it can put him under hypnosis. That said, apart from that, Obito hasn't shown that many feats. He is very strong, we know this. He was able to fight against Naruto's dad. He didn't win that fight, but he was also like a teen in that fight. We're using a much stronger version of him now, meaning I think he is very strong. We're going to give him that fan thing he uses. We know that is also pretty strong. We've seen it deflect a lot of ninjutsu. I think it deflected one of Naruto's attacks when Madara was using it. But otherwise, yeah, that's Obito. He's very strong. He's exceptionally strong. He can just decide spatial things, and to counter that, you really need to think and to know how to counter that. Now let's go into Limbo. Limbo is weird. Some people seem to think he is the strongest Warframe. I strongly disagree. I think he's pretty weak compared to other Warframes. We're gonna give him that weird sword thing he has, the rapier. That's his. I don't know what it's called. Sorry guys, I don't know what it's called. But it's a very strong rapier, and as for a ranged weapon, fuck it. Let's just give him another primary bow. It's not the Paris, the other one, the Dooku or something. Yeah, that primary bow. And he isn't that impressive. He can put himself into the rift, and then no one can hurt him, or he can put someone else into the rift, and then they can't hurt him. The problem is, it's not as effective as Obito's. So they both have this reality ability. They can push people into another reality or themselves into that reality. The problem is Obito has a lot more control over his spatial dimension thing than Limbo has. Limbo can put himself into the rift, sure, or he can put someone else into the rift. And people think he's just a god in this dimension. He isn't. He can't just evaporate people. He can slow time to a degree in that rift area, making his enemies move slower. Sure, that's cool and all, but it's not that much, and it seems to be linked to his abilities, so there's a time duration that this will last. If he put Obito into the rift and then left, I'm pretty sure that rift area, that bubble, will just wear out and then Obito will be back. It's not like if Obito put Limbo into the rift, Limbo is just kind of fucked. If Obito put Limbo in his dimension thing, Limbo can't do much to fight against that. Now, I will say this. Between the two, Limbo is probably more physically strong and durable. Sure, that's not gonna help him very much. In this fight, I just feel like Limbo is going to experience like a very complex problem that he can't solve using his own abilities. Using his own abilities, he can put people into the rift, but honestly, if he put Obito into the rift, he can probably get out of it. Like, he has his own spatial dimension thing. So it's not that. And if Obito put Limbo into his dimensional thing, then Limbo is just fucked. You know, he can't do much about it. Like, he's just screwed. That's like an infinite realm, and like, what can Limbo really do? More than that, Obito has other abilities. He has other things he can do. Now, I didn't get into it that much because, if I'm going to be honest, I don't recall him doing too many other things. You know, he has those weird, like, chakra pins that he can throw out. Oh no, that's pain. He just has blades that he can throw out, fire style, which is really cool. He can do a lot, and I think he's gonna outscale Limbo pretty hard. When it comes to a lot of what Limbo can do, Obito can probably deflect it with that fan. When it comes to weaponry, if like his bow is gonna be strong, but that fan is very strong. It's shown to be able to deflect some big attacks. So I think Obito wins this. Like, I don't think Limbo is going to be able to do much. Okay, Madara versus Uriel. This is going to be an intense one. So this is probably why I made this video in the first place. Uriel is one of the most slept on Warframes in terms of strength that there is. I think he is one of the strongest Warframes, if not the strongest Warframe. If you look at his feats, he has done some insane shit. So in the lore, Uriel, first he just killed an army. That's why he was crucified in the Old Peace questline as a punishment. He just annihilated an entire army. His own army, by the way. And then he got crucified. But then after this, when he's freed, we see one of the dumbest feats in Warframe. He just shoots into space. He can apparently just do that whenever he wants. He can just fly into space whenever he wants. Now, that means he can break terminal velocity and enter space. Now, here's the thing. I would presume the ship he was going towards was near or in orbit of the planets he was going to. Coming out of, anyway. And he just flies into the ship without any issue. When it comes to Uriel's weapons, I'm going to give him his signature weapon, which is like the spear, like rifle type thing. It's very strong in the game. It's like a very cool weapon. I enjoyed using it. I'm actually want to craft it. Now, Uriel, I'm not going to be biased here. Uriel is my favorite Warframe in Warframe. That said, let me get into Madara. So Madara is also pretty stacked. He's an Uchiha, he has a Sharingan. He has a Sharingan evolved to the final degree even. And he can summon a Sasuno. His giant blue Sasuno is very strong. He can throw out those chakrams and make these chakram chains, and those chakrams explode. He's able to use very good fire style, wood style as well, with that dude Hiroshima Sensei's cells. And he's also just an extremely good taijutsu user. When it comes to Madara's skills, he also has this insane ability where he can just summon 2 meteors that fall onto Earth, which is like bare minimum city level strength. He is very strong. Now, obviously, we're not using his 10-tail form. If we were, I think he would probably blitz everyone here. You know, truth-seeking orbs are ridiculously strong. But that's not in this tournaments. So we're gonna just look at Madara, what he can do by himself without the 10 tails. We're also, we can give him the Renegon. Honestly speaking, I don't think it's gonna help him. I really don't. I'm giving him everything I can. He has the fan, he has all of his weapons. He's an extremely good weaponsmith. He was able to fight, the first Hokage. However, he did have the 9 tails with the majestic Sasuno around it, which is basically what gave him that ability to do that in the first place. And he does not have that here. That said, he is extremely powerful. He's just not going to be able to beat Uriel though. It's just never going to happen. Uriel, all of his attacks do fire damage. It's important to note. He just does fire damage with every attack. He also has the ability to just set everything around him on fire, and that ability, that's his first ability. It has a stereation where everything around him is on fire, so it's like difficult to even touch him. It's hard. Like a taijutsu user wouldn't be able to get too close to him without setting on fire. Otherwise, he has these three people that follow him, these 3 minions, like demons. One of them can just attach to people and stagger them. It's basically a flying squid thing. The other one is going to be kind of useless. It just does rituals on things that are already dead. And when it does those rituals, it makes this orb thing that he can pick up, but it's not going to matter because he first has to kill Madara for it to do anything. The third minion he has makes these wells of fire on the ground, and it's alright. It does fire damage again on the ground, and Madara would have to walk onto it. Otherwise, there's this other really cool ability that Uriel has. His second ability just heals him and his minions, and he can just revive his minions whenever he wants. So Madara could easily kill his minions. It won't matter because he can just revive them at a moment's notice. Whenever Uriel uses this healing ability on himself, he also becomes invulnerable for a split second, and he heals himself completely. So it's he has shield gating, but then that shield gating gets made even more extreme whenever he uses this ability. He just gets that effect of invulnerability. So he is extremely durable. He is honestly virtually unkillable. The moment he would come close, he would just use this ability and then back to full. Otherwise, his third ability, he makes these homing fireballs using his minions. So his minions have to be alive for this to work. But he can essentially make these homing fireballs that will seek onto an opponent and then just blow up. His fourth ability is he creates this giant fire explosion around him that coats everything around him in fire. It's extremely difficult to fight Uriel. After this, now here's the reason why I think Uriel is probably one of the strongest Warframes. That feat where he just turns into a rocket and flies into space is insane. It means his speed is ridiculous. To be able to escape terminal velocity to even something in Earth's orbit is insane. You will have to be flying extraordinarily fast. Not the speed of light, at least Mach 20 or something. Mach 21, I believe, is what you need to escape terminal velocity. So, bare minimum that. That said, all of his other abilities, he's difficult to even come into contact with. He's at least as strong as Excalibur Prime, able to lift the Hanhalas, if not stronger. Given that he is this big threat in the lore, he's exceptionally terrifying in lore. What we've seen him do and what we can presume he's capable of doing, mind you, he's still a Warframe, has mods, has all these things, but then he's he's shown some of the most impressive Warframe feats we've seen. Now, with all that, I don't think Madara is going to be able to do much. I think he's going to get into the fight, he's going to use a lot. He might summon those big meteors, but they're not going to do anything because Uriel could fly around them. Uriel can fly. It is ridiculously strong speeds that he can fly at. And there's nothing, like, Madara isn't physically stronger than him. He isn't faster than him. Uriel blitzes Madara in speed. When it comes to durability, Uriel blitzes Madara in durability. When it comes to abilities, maybe Madara has some, like, higher feats of, like, yeah, you know, the Sasuno is very strong, it's very big, he can use clones, but Uriel can fuck with him. He can fuck them up. Like, his attacks are insane. He can just set everything on fire. You know, with mods, you can increase the range of that, increase the ability strength. He can just fuck shit up. And in-game, like, genuinely, whenever you use his ultimate, even if you're going into, like, late game, Steel Path, it just shreds everything. That ultimate is ridiculously powerful. So, when it comes to this fight, I have to give it to Uriel. He is just way stronger. Okay, so Might Guy versus Rhino. This is gonna be a cool fight. So, Might Guy has 8 gates. Each one he goes into, he becomes stronger. He has a couple of abilities in these gates, but really there's only 2 that matters, and that is going to be the 7th and the 8th gate. When he's in the 8th gate, it's important to note he dies after using it. So if he does require to use that in this fight, he's not going to go on to the next bracket. So even if he beats Rhino, so this is the one where if he wins, but let's see whether he'll need it. But that's essentially all Might Guy is. He has throwing knives, all that, everything a normal shinobi would have. He's exceptionally stronger than the average shinobi, faster, you can expect that he's more durable. And also, he packs a lot more punch than the average shinobi. According to Madara, he is the strongest taijutsu user he's ever fought against, which is exceptionally high praise. Now, apart from that's all really Might Guy has. He is a taijutsu specialist. While in his 7th gate, he has this really cool ability where he makes this giant, I think it's a lion head behind him, and then he shoots it at an opponent and it makes this big explosion. Very strong attack. Other than that, you know, when he's in his 8th tail, the 8th gate, he's able to punch so hard, it causes this air compression attack that just shoots the air forward. That was enough to fuck up 10 tails Madara. Madara in the 10th tail was getting fucked up by this. However, it is, again, if he does use that, he's gonna die. Now let's go over to Rhino. Rhino is the most tanky frame, I think. Although, I'm gonna say this, I think Uriel can survive for longer because Uriel can just heal himself whenever he wants. As with Rhino, he focuses on being specifically a tank. When we look at his abilities, he has a couple of wacky abilities. He can make himself more durable with Iron Skin. That's gonna be very strong. It also allows him to resist, crowd control. He can't really be knocked around as much. Otherwise, he can dash forward, but that's not that impressive. He can just dash forward and push everyone away. He also can roar really loudly, making himself stronger, giving him more ability strength. And other than that, he has his ultimate where he stomps the ground so hard. According to the description, it stops time for everyone affected. Now, I'm gonna say he probably doesn't actually have time manipulation abilities. It's just really strong. Essentially, he stomps the ground so hard that everything gets frozen in the air around him. I'm going to emphasize, I do not believe Rhino is actually pausing time, because that doesn't make any sense. I think it's more physics that he's just that strong. He is probably the most physically strong Warframe we've covered so far when it comes to physical strength. If the Hunhullers try to step on him, he would probably be able to lift it far easier than Excalibur Prime would. In a fight between these two, this is what I see happening. I don't think Might Guy would need to use the 8th gate against him. And the main reason why is because, Rhino is strong, durable, but he's not fast. He's probably slower than all the other Warframes here. Okay, maybe apart from Trinity and Limbo. Other than that, he's probably slower than them too. Now that I think about it, he's not a speedy Warframe. His entire thing is to be durable. So my guy is gonna blitz him in speed. And when it comes to physical strength, as much as Rhino is probably one of the strongest Warframes in terms of physical strength, my guy is also probably the strongest ninja in Naruto when it comes to physical strength. I don't see that much of a difference there. That said, I'm going to give it to my guy. I think at the 7th gate, he can probably beat Rhino in the terms of just punching each other really hard. I think my guy's going to win. He's going to beat the shit out of Rhino. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of time. But he can do it. I think he can do it without using the 8th gate. And if he did use the 8th gate, it wouldn't even be a competition. He would fuck Rhino up senselessly. It would not be a fight. So that's how that fight goes, in my opinion. Rhino, when it comes to his weaponry, I'm going to give him his signature fist. You can probably see it in the image there, his fists. And, fuck it, we can give him the Bolter Prime. It's not going to help him very much, because this is going to really be a fist fight. My guy's not going to let a lot of distance become between them. So Rhino's going to have to rely heavily on those punches. I just don't think it's going to be comparable. I think Guy is going to be stronger and faster, and that's going to be enough to overdo the strength requirement needed to go past the shield gating and then fuck up his Iron Skin and then fuck Rhino up. It's going to be a difficult fight, but my guy got this. I think my guy wins. Okay, then Naruto versus Volt. This is going to be a lot faster. I think now we can, since I don't need to explain all the abilities again. Naruto versus Volt. I think Naruto is still going to be faster than Volt, but not by much. Volt is extremely quick, and so is Naruto. Their speed is going to be not going to be too debated. That said, I still think Naruto has an edge when it comes to abilities. Volt is he just does lightning shit. And lightning shit is strong. He has a lot of strong lightning shit. He can make the shield and whatnot. I just think Naruto, his attacks are bigger. The Rasen Shuriken is really big. And of course, Biju Dama is a nuclear bomb. It's just gonna blow shit up. And Volt, he's fast, he can dodge a lot. I just don't see him outpacing Naruto's the size of his attacks. Also, Naruto is famous for his shadow clones. He's also very good at battle IQ. He's far smarter than people give him credit for. I think Naruto, he's gonna outdo Volt. Now, when it comes to Tsunade and Obito, I'm gonna give it to Obito. I think he's going to move on to the next round. Okay, now with Uriel and Might Guy, I'm gonna have to justify this a bit more. So Uriel is really strong, and I genuinely think could beat Madara, not counting Ten Tails Madara. Now, when it comes to Might Guy, I'm just gonna put this out there. With the 7th gate, he really does not stand a chance. He can't beat Uriel with just 7 gates. He's gonna need to like go 8 gates to stand a chance here. And how I justify this is it's going to be difficult for Might Guy to even get close to Uriel to like actually fight him in a fist fight. And the only real chance he has is like using those fire punches he has in the 7th gate, which, I mean, yeah, using fire attacks against a fireman isn't very useful. But more appropriately, in the 8th gate, he has those wind attacks that shoots those columns of air forward. That might be useful. Now, can Uriel survive that? And now, I think the thing you must remember in the fight with the Ten Tails Madara, Might Guy actually got help from Minato, as well as Kakashi. They were like helping him, like deflect Madara's attacks, while like teleporting Might Guy as well to help him fight that. So he doesn't have that here fighting Uriel. So can Uriel endure Might Guy's 8 gates long enough for Might Guy to die from the 8 gate? I genuinely don't think anyone here can stand up and fight against Might Guy in the 8th gate. You would just need to endure it, because that would be torture for anyone. They would just die. Ironically, Limbo might be able to survive that, but Limbo won't survive because he wouldn't need 8th gates to beat Limbo. Uriel, on the other hand, I'm gonna give it to him. I think Uriel can survive it because he can continuously heal himself. And that's gonna be the big issue Might Guy's gonna have. He's gonna blow Uriel into pieces, and as long as he survives that attack, he can just heal himself. And like, that's gonna be a problem. You must remember, Uriel also has minions that can distract Might Guy, can pull him. You must remember that tentacle, like, you know, the squid can grapple with almost any enemy in Warframe. And the enemies you fight in Warframe can be exceptionally powerful, physically strong, but it can still grab them. So I could imagine it would do something. That tentacle thing will grab Might Guy. It will get destroyed, but Uriel can just revive it. If Uriel can just run away, I don't think Might Guy can catch him. I mean, Uriel's rocket mode can fly so fast they can exit the Earth's velocity. That is insane. So I think he can do it. He can fight Might Guy. Okay, now let's get to the closing. So Naruto and Obito, they're there. They're in a team. They're fighting Uriel. This is the final, the qualifier. We'll decide who wins between these universes. It might be unfair to put Naruto and Obito together here, but we'll do two. We'll see who wins between Naruto versus Uriel, and then we'll, of course, you know, the real tournament, the duo versus Uriel. So Naruto is probably the only character here that could deal with Uriel just flying away. I think, you know, Naruto is probably as fast, can also probably chase him. You know, I don't think Uriel can just run away if he wanted to. Now, he also has ranged. Naruto is ranged. He has a lot of ranged attacks. Are those going to be enough to kill him? With Obito, I think so. With Obito there helping him, I think they can work together to find a way for Obito to put him in the Nether Realm, and then he's just screwed. He can't do anything about that. Uriel's strong. He can make it difficult to even come close to him. Naruto, especially if he enters the beast mode, you know, he enters Nine-Tail Cloak, you know, he's gonna be a threat to Uriel. And for that reason, I'm really giving it to the Naruto characters. I think they win this tournament. You know, Naruto and Obito win. I think they go into the final brackets, you know. And that's been a video, you know. Thank you for everyone who watched this. I know this has been a long video. like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and keep in track. I'm going to do more videos like this. I'm planning on doing one around Marvel versus Warframe, and who knows, depending on what happens, I might make more and more. We'll see, but thanks again for watching. Leave a comment below and have a blessed day. Keep on looking for that mayo, that chicken mayo.